Welcome into Movement Parallels Life. Today we're keeping it simple and focusing on one thing. As a longtime health and fitness coach, I'll tell you that one of the most universal mistakes that I see people making is overlooking the value of the basics in favor of making movements and exercises overly intense and overly complicated. Now, personally, I've fallen into this trap countless times throughout all my years of training. It's easy to confuse doing more with achieving more and better results. Yet when it comes to crafting a new skill, whether that be learning a new movement or learning to play a musical instrument, the quality of our practice is what matters. Mastery of anything is dependent on a deep understanding of the basics. So in today's session, we're going to be focusing on a fundamental natural movement called the inverted crawl or the crab crawl. We'll build up this technique by looking at some of the different progressions and variations that will help you refine the movement itself and get more out of your natural movement practice. Because one of the key features of the inverted crawl is strength through the posterior chain, we're going to begin today's practice working some basic supine hip bridging. While lying on your back, walk your shoulder blades together and press the soles of your feet into the ground as you drive your hips up towards the sky. Keep your lower back elongated to maintain the proper posterior tuck of the pelvis. This is going to ensure that you get a strong activation of your glutes and hamstrings. Lower your hips down from the bridge. Bring your knees together, draw your thighs in towards your chest, and gently rock your way up to a seated position. Rock back and forth several times, elongating your spine as you rock up and rounding your spine as you rock back. Rock up one last time and then post your arms behind you. Keep your arms locked out, shoulders externally rotated, and chest open. Hold this position and begin shifting your weight from side to side to mobilize and stretch your shoulders. Next, begin shifting your weight forward and backward. Extend your legs to slide your hips back between your hands and then pull yourself forward from your heels. As your hips move forward towards your heels, keep your palms grounded, arms locked out, actively pushing the ground away as you stretch your shoulders in extension. Extend your legs and shift your hips back between your hands. Your locked out arms are pressing through the ground, keeping your hips light or hovering off the ground. Now stabilize yourself. Press your hands and feet into the ground and drive your hips to the sky. Keep your shoulder blades depressed, your neck long, and your arms locked out, actively pressing through the ground as you lift and lower your hips. Now lower your hips and come into a bent sit position. Sit up tall and extend your arms forward. Reach in an arc overhead and behind you and bring your arms back. Continue moving through this full range of motion. Work within your current level of mobility. If you notice any pain, clicking, or grinding, you can try moving through these shoulder articulations one arm at a time. Now bring your arms in and overlap your hands across your chest. Keep your shoulders back and chest open and begin rotating through your shoulders. Use the strength of your abdominals and back to drive each twist. Turn your head in conjunction with each rotation and look back behind you. Take one last twist and then repost your hands outside your hips and begin shifting your weight forward and back, about 8 to 10 repetitions here. Next, perform 5 or 6 hip lifts. Make sure that you're actively pressing through the ground as you elevate your hips to the sky. Lower your hips. And next we'll return to the forward-backward shifting pattern, this time keeping one leg lifted off the ground. Drive the heel of your support leg into the ground to pull you forward and push you back. Perform 5 repetitions each side. Next, center yourself in your inverted crawl position and perform an alternating shoulder tap for 10 reps. Subtly shift your weight to remove one arm from the ground while your support arm continues pressing into the ground, providing stability. Lower your hips to the ground and begin bringing in some gentle movements to release any excess tension. Breathe, roll your head and neck, and jog around your shoulders. Now return to your shoulder articulations. Sweep your arms through a full range of motion arc for 5 reps. Now open your arms out wide to the sides, palms facing the sky. Internally rotate one shoulder, twisting and then untwisting. Alternate sides for 10 reps. Bring your hands in to fold across your chest. Keep your shoulders back and maintain your long spine as you perform 8 to 10 thoracic rotations. Once again, take a moment to release any excess tension. Breathe deeply, roll your head and neck, flex and extend your thoracic spine, or jog around your shoulders. Repost your arms and we'll run through the series again, continuing to add in layers of progression. Return to your forward-backward shifting pattern. After every few shifts, plant your hips and use your hands to spin 180 degrees and continue shifting. You'll use this spin to easily change your orientation and access 360 degrees while inverted crawling. Center and reset and return to your hip lifting pattern. Incorporate overhead reaching or perform your hip lifts with fully extended legs. Now lower your hips and perform 5 or 6 single leg forward-backward shifts on each side. Center and reset and perform 10 alternating shoulder taps. Reset, post your arms and perform 10 alternating overhead kicks. Take a moment to rest, reset, and release any excess tension. Organize yourself in a strong, stable bent sit position. Extend your arms and begin reaching through a full range of motion. Repost your arms and return to your inverted crawl position. Extend one leg upwards and use your opposite arm to reach for your toes. Pause and return to 4 points of support. Switch sides and repeat for 10 alternating reps. Last rep here on your diagonal reach, and return to 4 points of support and then begin inverted crawling forwards and backwards. Maintain deep breathing, and with each step, your opposite hand and foot are moving together. Return to a seated position to rest and reset. Roll your head and neck, flex and extend your spine, and perform 4 to 6 alternating back reaches. Now repost your arms and return to your inverted crawl position. Perform 10 alternating diagonal reaches. One last reach, and then inverted crawling forwards and backwards. Perform your contralateral crawl or slide forwards and backwards by shifting your weight, resting on your hips, and repositioning your hands and feet to move forwards or backwards. Rest and reset with breathing and spinal articulation. Hold a strong, stable posture and perform 6 alternating back reaches. Allow your knees to slightly splay open and relax into a forward fold. And one more time, repost your arms and rise up into your inverted crawl position. Perform 10 alternating diagonal reaches. One last reach, and then begin to crawl forwards and backwards. Integrate your contralateral crawling and sliding techniques. Return to a seated position, and we'll take just a few more minutes and a few more movements to close up today's practice. From your bent sit position with arms posted behind you, keep your feet in contact with the ground and take your knees from side to side. Bring the soles of your feet together into a butterfly sit and take a few moments to stretch and breathe. Stay in this butterfly sit position or space out your feet and fold forward. Rock back and then up to sitting into a forward reach for 3 to 4 times. Next, transition into a knee-hand position and give your hands and wrists some love. Stretch your palms or press the backs of your hands into the ground. Plant your palms on the ground and begin articulating your spine through flexion and extension. Coordinate these movements with deep, relaxed breathing. Transition into a comfortable kneeling position and continue moving through your spine, posting your hands back behind you and expanding your chest, or gripping your knees and rounding your spine, folding forward. That's a wrap on this short practice. Today's one thing has been the inverted crawl, and you can see within the ecosystem of that one thing live so many other smaller things. So I encourage you to keep on moving and practicing mindfully to extract all the movement goodness that helps you build your mobility and the connection to your body. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.